What's going on, guys? It's Justice here. So this video is targeting people who want to get into Protection Paladin tanking. I have mained Protection Paladin probably about 4 different seasons. So this is targeted at players who are interested in the spec and class, who want to be a Crusader of Azeroth and enjoy the Paladin class fantasy, and are wanting to apply that playstyle in a Mythic plus dungeon context on World of Warcraft, taking on mobs and bosses. It's not really about mid-maxing too much or anything like that. I may touch on some intricacies though here and there just naturally, and I do assume you understand the core rotation of Paladin, which I'll touch on now really quickly. So the core kind of rotation of Paladin is building up holy power, which is your resource, with judgments primarily and blessed hammers, and then spending power on Shield of Righteous for defense and offensive output, filling in with Avenger Shield for AoE and interrupt potential to control and lock down dangerous mobs. Avenger Shield is an absolute staple of Paladin, throwing out that shield, bouncing off targets, and the first target that it hits, it will interrupt it. It's brilliant. It's a great staple of Paladin. It allows it to be really pug friendly and allow you to provide a lot of control, especially with packs where there is a ton of casters. Now, I may have forgotten to say in this entire video, obviously I take for granted just putting Consecration down on the floor. I have that on a really comfortable keybind, and I'm always placing it down when I'm moving mobs, when I'm repositioning at the start of pools, or even if I'm just staying planted. If it's about to drop off, I'm placing Consecration down again, because the way Mastery works on Paladin, one of your core stats, is that whilst you're within your Consecration, you're taking less damage significantly and also dealing more damage. So you always want to be making sure you're in Consecration. If you're really unsure about playing with Consecration, you can, and you're new to Paladin, you can take a talent that makes it larger and bigger and also slows mobs. And you can also take a talent that allows the effect of Consecration to stay active for a few seconds after you leave the consecrated area, and that does really help, I think, a lot of people getting into the Paladin class. It's a fantastic quality of life, but I tend to not use that when you're experienced, because it's more beneficial to go for like another talent. But it is really nice to have in your keys if you are able to take that talent where that consecrated effect does linger for, I think it's around 3 seconds or so after you leave it, which can be the difference between living or dying, if you're forgetting to put that consecrated ground back down, or if you're in a key where it does require a ton of movement. Maybe in the future we're having to kite more in certain dungeons as well, and in those cases, yeah, having that lingering effect is really nice. Also, use of your major CDs, so the iconic Avenging wings. When I first popped that in World of Warcraft, God, that was a fantastic feeling, and that really instills that Paladin class fantasy in you. And so in this current talent build, I have selected the critical wings here, so really optimizing and really taking advantage of the critical stat. Haste is your primary stat, then you want a certain threshold of mastery currently, and then it's crit. But honestly, I'm not going to worry too much on stats. Ultimately, you really want to just be going on Wowhead or going on Murloc.io or simming and just finding out, are there certain thresholds that you want to hit? And that's the same for any class that you play. So are there certain thresholds that are really pinnacle on a class? And on Paladin, currently in Season 2, War Within, you want to be hitting a certain mastery percentage. For me, it's currently 52%, so I'm not reliant on Shamans. And due to the current talent setups, yeah, if you hit Avenger Shield plus use a Word of Glory, then it allows you to be at 100% spell block. But again, that is an intricacy, but it's pretty important if you're going to be pushing higher in the keys. So definitely look to see if there's certain thresholds on classes. If you choose to main them and play them primarily, and you actually want to push a bit higher and progress and see yourself progressing, it is a really big impact on how much damage you take as a Paladin currently from magic damage. But yeah, major CDs like crit wings, the Paladin bubble, which is fantastic and makes you immune to all damage whilst taunting with this build. It's freaking awesome. You can use it offensively by pulling a load of mobs and knowing that you've got bubble available, or you can use it in an oh crap moment where there's loads of mobs and you're struggling to get threat. Just pop bubble and it'll sort it out, or you die and you instantly get rezzed and bubbles off CD. Hit bubble and you'll instantly taunt everything and save the rest of your group. So it's a really nice ability for Paladin. And your other defensives, such as transforming into a Guardian of the Ancient Kings, and your frequent use of Ardent Defender amongst a lot of CC and utility. So right, let's get into it. So this will be a live gameplay commentary of my take on the class and the choices I make when attacking the Priory dungeon within Season 2 of The War Within. I also presume a lot of this approach and thought process will apply to future dungeon content if the class playstyle stays roughly the same, which for the most part usually does, but there's definitely intricacies and different talent switch ups. But for the most part, like just my thought process of how I approach a dungeon, you can apply that to a lot of different dungeons, and I do as well. I choose to use the Bulwark of Righteous Fury end talent on this spec tree. Again, just getting specific about the current season. This could change, but likely to stay the same for a good few months this year in 2025. Bulwark of Righteous Fury is an end talent, and this playstyle is integrated into my muscle memory due to how Paladin has worked in the past before they did a big class tree rework. It's a decent choice for AoE heavy dungeons. Effectively, after you use Avenger shield, your next Shield of Righteous will deal more damage effectively, and so it is a really nice kind of play style and rhythm you get into, which is why I like to play it. I think people, including myself, sometimes do go, or most people go, for Bastion of Light if you look at the stats, and I think that's mostly due to the additional holy power that you generate on demand. If this lines up really nicely with your current tier set, so the tier set which you have on Paladin, you'll be able to read up on it, but effectively it allows Shield of Righteous will effectively refund holy power, and you've got to fit in as many Shield of Righteous as you can to keep extending and have maximum uptime on the outgoing damage buff that you get whilst that tier set proc is activated. So you have to spam Shield of Righteous to actually feel and get the maximum uptime. It's a little bit annoying in some ways, but also kind of fun when you get in the refund of holy power and you're just spamming Shield of Righteous. It's a bit like, I've just got a video which came out about me playing bear tank. It's a bit like playing bear tank and just being an incarn and having so much rage that you're just constantly spamming Iron Fur. It's a very similar feeling, but it's a lot easier to pull off in bear tanking because you can just have that on demand. You know when it's going to happen. You've got a ton of rage in incarn. Whereas Paladin, I actually don't like the RNG aspect and having to track it personally. But that's just a personal preference. Anyway, back to the focus of the video. People are rocking Bastion of Light because it's an on-demand talent that allows you to generate more holy power through your judgments, and that does complement quite nicely the tier set at the moment. But moving on from that, because that really isn't future-proof, because tier sets will change in future seasons. So these vids are to go over the class and playstyle at a high level, other than everything I've just been through. So the rest of it is at more of a high level, with the main focus being on talking you through my thought process on how I approach the tanking role in a Mythic plus dungeon environment. I hope it helps people get into the tanking role. I hope it helps people pick up Paladin and give it a go, give it a blast if you're interested in that class fantasy. And maybe Blizzard have just tuned the stats crazily where Paladin is meta again, and yeah, people are using it and you want to pick it up for the first time. Maybe you're an experienced tank and you're just listening to this to see what other person's perspective is on the role. Make sure to give tips to other viewers. And yeah, if you are new and you've got any questions, or in general, I just hope this helps. So let me know in the comment section, and yeah, I'll crack on with the rest of the vid. And make sure I'm on prospect. Okay, I mean, hey guys, this might be the run with live gameplay commentary. Oh god, I'm so rusty as well, man.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This could be the key where we get the Tome of Light's Devotion, which is a really nice offensive trinket.
The expedition built the Priory as a place to contemplate the mysteries of Belladar.
Some aggro. Okay, we're going to go straight into this. We're going to pull that. Pull that. We're going to go into that. Heal up. And then we're going to start. Let's get everyone hit. Shield slam. Get more aggro. Make sure we pop. Get some damage out. So we've got wings going. Now I'm just waiting for my tier set. So yeah, obviously got tier set right now. That's going to hurt. Want to make sure I've got my damage at full magic block reduction with the mastery threshold that I've got. So yeah, right now, like, wings is just carrying me. No one's CCing that, so that's a huge damage reduction if that doesn't get CC'd. Okay, so wings just run out, so now I'm going to go into Guardian Image Ancient Kings, another big kind of damage resistance CD. As soon as that runs out, I am just going to take this damage.
3, 2, 1.
And we are good. Make sure I've freed myself out of the traps. The sharpshooters put traps everywhere. That's a difficult part about that pull.
Roar.
Okay, we're going to start pulling stuff here. I'm going to focus target that for some kick macros.
Countered. Countered. Countered.
The NPC's here. We're going to grab him. Alright, and we're going to go from there. So I have a focus macro on Avenger Shield and on Rebuke. So I've got one of the priests basically focused. No one's CCing that, like, it's unbelievable. Everyone's just like really taking it easy hit. I think everyone's just like chilling. But that's a huge, the footmen basically put a shield around themselves and it's a huge damage reduction on the mobs. So you lose a lot of damage, it slows down the key a lot. That's horrendous on the first pull if people don't CC that. So luckily, you know, you do have blinding light. If that's off cooldown, you can do that. Don't expect any crazy damage here because I'm having to live commentate here, so I'm definitely not optimizing or tracking everything, and I haven't played Paladin in a couple of weeks, so very rusty. I wouldn't say very rusty, but, you know, rusty enough. But luckily Paladin, I've put a ton of hours into playing Paladin. Has always been my favorite tank to play, so a lot of it is muscle memory at this point.
Roar.
I think I was supposed to take that, actually. Yep, they pulled it anyway. Might as well just pull some more. Might help later on. Might as well have pulled it. Someone else accidentally pulled it. So yeah, usually I think we would have pulled that in. But I'll just wings now again and we'll go with the flow from there. Might be able to skip something later. Yeah, overall we are absolutely blasting here, so it's fine. Yeah, I have like shift left click. Alright, see, I'm going to dispel that.
CC.
You really do have a lot of control as a tank. You do have a lot of control. Especially in the pug world, like, yeah, you have to like carry a lot on crowd control. Okay, so we're going to skip this patrol up here. Coming back, but we should be quick enough. I don't know if the whole team will be though. Yep, we're good. Okay, so we're going to go around here. We're going to pull these two. And then we're going to pull the mobs just with Judgment, so we don't pull the sharpshooter over there. And then we're going to go straight into the mini-boss.
Countered.
Going to pull everything there. Get aggro of everything, and we're good to go.
Countered. Countered.
Someone accidentally pulled down below, so now we've got those mobs coming in, which really isn't ideal, because the light spawns, yeah, I'm not looking forward to the light spawn, basically. Yeah, I'm having to carry a lot here now. I'm gonna have to focus up for a bit.
CC. Countered.
No one's gonna, literally no one's CCing that. I mean, maybe we don't have an AoE. Guess we could have vortexed and typhooned them.
Countered. Countered.
So yeah, obviously my tier set prot there, but wasn't able to focus too much on it. Have to get...
Reflect.
This is bad. Oh, this is bad.
Countered.
Get him out, get him out. Oof, we got him out, we got him out. If you don't get mobs out of that circle there, from the light spawn, then they all get healed up. But yeah, we've definitely pulled a lot here, so now we don't have to pull as much in the very last room of the dungeon.
Roar.
But yeah, I tier, you want to be like using that off cooldown, really. With Templar spec. Doesn't really matter if you're using it for a defensive CD or not. So we're going to pull this guy with the mini-boss.
Countered. Countered.
And I think I'm actually going to focus the priest in case he does a heal. Got Ham here with wings again. Focus interrupt.
CC.
So yeah,
Countered.
focus interrupts are just are absolute game changing. They're gonna get pulled.
Countered.
they allow you to keep on your main target and then just like interrupt the focus target with a macro whilst you're keeping priority damage going into your main target. Pretty sick.
CC.
So I just did like, it's really amazing on Paladin, to be honest.
CC.
Countered.
Because you have so much potential of like interrupting like that. So that's my focus target there, you see, and then they have a cast bar as well. There's no casters there, so I'm just going to go for the next pack. Yeah, the next boss really hurts. Really hurts. I'm going to put some priority damage into the knight. Get rid of him. He's doing a lot of damage right now.
Stop cast.
Alright, so we're in a pretty good position. The next boss fight is extremely dangerous. It definitely feels exceptionally dangerous on Paladin. But when you're in wings, you can carry yourself for a bit. And then we just got to cycle through our defensives. This has not been able to be optimal in any way, shape or form. I'm a bit rusty, but ultimately I'll just show you, you know, how to kind of get through it. Whilst I've got crit wings, I'm not going to play that bleed with dwarf or anything. It's a waste. Like, crit wings are extremely powerful here. Right, I've got my tier set proc, so I'm just going to spam Shield of Righteous here as well. Keep self-healing. This is pretty dangerous because I've got... There we go. Nice. That got dispelled off me.
Bleed.
So this one I think I'm going to clear. I dwarfed it. Got rid of the bleed.
2.
Bubble, because we've got a double hit there from the Divine Judgment as well. So it's a really good time to bubble here. If you know you're going to get both bleeds on you from both the bosses here.
AoE. Bleed. 3. 2.
I'm just going to use a basic defensive here because I've almost got wings to keep me alive. Yeah, wings is going to keep me up now again.
Dodge. Bleed.
Still got wings for this, so I'll be fine. Scary though. Doing this on a very high key, like, is extremely scary.
Bleed.
So we've got Guardian, so we'll use Guardian. So the healer keeps me up a bit here. If not, I'll use Lay on Hands.
2. Bleed. 1.
Okay, this is where I'm going to use Lay on Hands. Once my health goes low enough to make it valuable.
Countered.
There it is.
Dodge. AoE. Bleed.
Okay, so we've got Eye of Tear up here, 25% damage reduction. Should see us through. Still have to heal.
Roar.
Okay, now we're going to get mana, and then it's a big pull.
Elgrai was an Arathi hero. How
We'll do a
would the
triple.
Priory force him to turn against Hallowfall?
You can stagger it, I think, if you want, but yeah. Healer decides to not Hemo there for a while. Bit scary.
Countered.
AoE. AoE. AoE.
Some nice damage out here.
AoE.
Getting tier set procs, so just spamming Shield of Righteous right after I Avenger Shield, preferably. You're getting a lot anyway, so it's fine. With Divine Toll as well, that counts for that. Shield of Righteous. That's a lot of damage, that's good. Go for double again. Rocked Ardent Defender, just to make sure I've got defensive up for this pull here. Gotta focus the priest in case we get any heals coming out.
Countered.
AoE.
One of the heals, the other one's going to go off because no one's going to interrupt it.
Countered.
And I've got wings.
AoE.
One of those, like, if you're in a full stack pre-made, this is where it can make a really big difference, having focused macros, because you can all just, like,
AoE.
allocate a symbol to the mobs. sack the hunter there.
Countered.
So then you don't have to really worry too much. You can just focus in on damage, and priority damage.
Will arise, and the Arathi will be mighty.
Yeah, Eye of Tyr does work both offensively and defensively, so it's nice to use, especially on pull, but you want to be just sending it. I'll get the priest focused, I think.
AoE.
Alright, fun run so far. Fun run so far. Once this boss is over, we've just got basically the massive room up ahead, so... yeah, I know the boss is coming up soon, so I'm not going to be wasting wings here. Both of these mobs are going to be down very soon, so I'm not going to waste wings. So yeah, in this fight you obviously all want to stack up and bait this initial attack, Hammers of Purity. And then as a tank you want to move the boss away, so it encourages everyone else to run away from those hammers.
So,
You don't want to soak that until after the next attack. The Castigated Shield, you want to wait until the Castigated Shield goes out. I'm going to Freedom so I don't get slowed.
Shell.
And then at this point you want the DK to go and sort out that if possible.
Countered.
But it looks like he's not going to, so I'll just spell ward it.
bait.
We're baiting this next thing, so everyone should stack again. Yeah. Technically, if you've got a DK in the group, it makes the
So,
this fight a lot easier, because the DK can just soak every other one of those, and should be, if they know the tech.
Anti-magic zone.
But he has got AMS again, so he could AMS it, but it doesn't like he's going to, so I'm gonna have to do it. Usually, most DKs will know that they can clear that. So now the next one's gonna really hurt. But I don't know. The DK seemed to AMS there, but he's doing it a bit late for my liking. Like, you can do it late, but when you're pugging, I think you should just be going straight in there, really. Like after the Castigated Shield, but
2, 1.
I probably could have done better there, but overall, yeah, I soaked when I had Spell Ward and Divine Shield, so I was safe from it. Yeah, pretty much most of what I could do there, and then just positioning the boss in the pug environment there.
Counter.
So I'm going to focus that one. I think obviously you want to be priority damaging into the highest HP mobs and the most dangerous, which is the Paladins. But yeah, I've got a priest focus, so I can interrupt pretty much that every time.
Counter.
Which is good. Nice, the hunter got the other greater heal. You really don't want that going off. It'll just extend the fight. We've got the last room to clear here, but we did clear quite a bit early on, a bit extra, so maybe I can skip the left pack. But yeah, I'll just ask them to LOS there, and I'll pull 2 packs back. We've got Eye of Tyr we're going to go into straight away.
Counter.
Think again.
Counter. Counter.
Yeah, I think I'll prioritize the priest.
AoE.
I'm going to sack the hunter. Oh, God, that almost got me killed. Took so much damage there. Okay, prioritizing damage on... I've got wings again, so I'm going to pop wings. I've got the greater heal. I think the DK went for that too, so it's fine. Again, totally fine.
AoE.
Get rid of smite there so people don't get killed.
AoE. Volley.
Yeah, I've got the volley. If that went off there, the group would have died, for sure. People were low health. Keep him up. So yeah, I'm using the Cell add-on, which healers use, but it's really nice to be, when you're on a tank that can also off-heal. I just right-click and that wogs like this. And wog him up, wog him up, wog him up. By right-clicking, it's really nice. And then my left-click is sack. And I always try to aim sack. Blessing of Sacrifice, where obviously some of the damage they take, like 50% of the damage or something, will go onto you instead. It's really nice. Paladin has really nice utility, and you want to take advantage of that utility.
Counter.
Just gonna wait for that patrol to come round, and then we're gonna tag the patrol. So we've got a bit of waiting to do. Get that random footman. Make sure we pull this at the right time without pulling everything else.
They defile the sacred flame by
Get at least 1 or 2 interrupts there, and we get going.
better than the coldness.
Calling.
Paladin can use that dungeon buff there, the golden glowy orb.
Calling.
Hopefully I get these out quick enough without any of them massively healing. That priest, that mage, both mages did get healed, which is a shame. This light spawn's also going to do something. They do it when they hit a certain HP, when they're about to die, so we need to get them out.
Calling.
We are good.
Counter. Counter.
Oof, a lot of damage. Yeah, thumb and shoulders, right. This is a lot of damage we're about to take now from this guy. Have some fun with it.
Healing time.
Get all those in with Divine Toll. So I'll focus that priest for now. That is a tank buster, so you want to make sure that you've used a defensive. I used Ardent Defender there.
Counter.
From the mini boss here. This mini boss really hurts.
Counter.
Going to use another defensive, Guardian of Ancient Kings. Yeah, I'm about to get wings, so I'm about to be safe with that. I do have spell warding now as well, so I can use spell warding on somebody if I feel like someone's getting too low. On high keys, I could probably even just use that on myself. Yeah, obviously I have tier came off CD, so I'm using that straight away, and I do have my tier proc, so I'm just trying to get to 3 holy power as fast as possible. Alright, let's see if this is 100%. Yes, it is. Cool, so we don't have to pull the left pack, because we pulled extra earlier on. 3, 2, 1, we're going. Straight away, procking rings, priority trinket, straight into Eye of Tier.
Counter.
Hoping for a tier proc, come on. And we didn't get it. Maybe we still get it. Nope, no tier proc. So if you get a tier proc in that situation with the current 4 set, it's amazing. So you turn away for the blinding light, literally using, I mean, I love this dungeon as a paladin.
Magic zone.
Just fighting my fellow comrades, honestly. It's
Counter.
crazy. The traitorous paladins in this place.
Counter.
So yeah, I'm hoping this is, you know, a lower key, so... But I think, yeah, my wings should come back for basically the damage window that you really want to be excelling at. So you really want to be saving, like, as much damage as possible. It's getting close to 50%. Because my tier set procs are just, like, times you really don't want. Yeah, it's phasing. So, like, when you go up here, you need to do enough damage to break the shield, right? So even as a tank, like, all damage matters. And then a lot of teams will say Bloodlust here. I think this team has as well, so should expect the Chamois to use Bloodlust here. They're not. I'll type it. There we go. We do enough damage, and then we can break the shield. And then we just leg back, if I can, pull the boss out. Obviously DK has like Defile here as well, which can be really useful. Druid will have like
Counter.
Vortex to place down, so the mobs go back into their Vortex. And also Typhoon. Oh god. He's used his flipping Abomination Limb. He's used his Abomination Limb.
Spirit Link.
Turn.
Anti-magic shell.
2, 1.
Yeah, that's not a great time to use Abomination Limb as a DK. You're trolling.
Counter.
It happens, it happens. It's a funny ability when you really don't want mobs to get pulled in. Yeah, those adds do a ton of damage, so yeah. That's why you pull the boss back.
Roar.
But yeah, GG. But yeah, that's the run, guys. Not bad. Obviously could have optimized a lot there, but in general, that's me tanking Paladin. I know I didn't go through abilities too much. It was more just for the general thought processing of me kind of running through a key at okay level, just kind of chilling, casual. But in general, yeah. I hope you enjoyed it or got something from it. Yeah, there's a ton of abilities on Paladin. In general, though, you could see me, you know, taking advantage of the Avenger's Shield with interrupts, Rebuke with interrupt. Pretty much, you know, making the right call of when to use wings. You know, you're using it off CD for the most part, but you really don't want to be using like CDs like DPS, like if a pack's about to die. It's really about knowing the route and what big pulls are coming up next. You have a really good utility kit, so you can sack people, you can bot people, you can spell ward people. In a coordinated group there, I'd usually like spell ward a DPS to go and clear out the castigator, or even I would, so then they can keep damaging. Overall, I think the run went okay. There were some ninja pulls, but it's expected. But yeah, overall, you really just want to make sure that you got Blessed Hammer up. Luckily, we've got talents that actually successfully interrupting an enemy with Rebuke or Avenger Shield casts an extra hammer. And with that focus macro, where even though you're like churning damage into a priority target, with this talent of punishment, you are constantly interrupting as a paladin. You know, Divine Toll going out and interrupting multiple enemies at the start of pulls when there's multiple casters. Avenger Shield focus macro on your mob or on the priority target that you're focusing, or you can literally switch to another target, whack your shield on it, and then obviously Rebuke just coming off as a standard melee kick. Like, you're going to be kicking a lot, you're going to be getting a lot of free Blessed Hammers, which is this ability here. So it throws a Blessed Hammer that spirals outward, it deals constant holy damage to enemies, and it reduces the next damage they deal to you by 35k. So it's just reducing the incoming damage, basically, like a nice consistent reduction, and that's why you always want to keep that up. So Blessed Hammer, due to that talent though, Blessed Hammer is your filler ability, and with this talent setup, you're gonna have Judgment off cooldown a lot to be able to hit that, especially considering you're filling in as well and using Avenger Shield as well. Avenger Shield's fantastic to use right before, like I said, Shield of Righteous, and you just want to make sure that you're keeping your Shield of Righteous stacks up as well, which you would have noticed me do naturally. Like, that'll never drop off throughout that whole dungeon. And if it dropped off, then yeah, I'm in danger, but you'll notice I was optimizing that and making sure that's up at all times. And the tier set does help you kind of make the Shield of Righteous stacks go right up to 14 or so, which is the maximum that you can have at any point in time, like 14 seconds of time, I think it is. And the tier set really helps with that. We'll quickly read that. So each time you take damage, you have a chance to activate Luck of Draw, causing you to cast Guardian and Ancient Kings. So that's also really nice. So you don't want to overlap that. So if you see that Guardian of Ancient Kings, you want to make sure that's on you're tracking that buff. You don't want to be activating your own, because it will overlap the proc from the Luck of Draw. Your damage done is increased by 15% for 10 seconds after the Luck of Draw activates. And while you have it with the 4 set, Shield of Righteous refunds 1 to 3 holy power. So if you're lucky and it refunds like straight out 3 holy power, you're just like flooded in holy power, which is really nice. And you just keep spamming either Shield of Righteous for more holy power and more damage. And occasionally, you know, you might want to fit in a WAG in there to self-heal, but for the most part, you are spamming Shield of Righteous. Preferably, again, you want to be squeezing in your Avenger Shield and your Divine Toll just to increase the potential from the Bulwark of Righteous Fury. But that's the general kind of gameplay loop, really, especially with the current tier set. Now, obviously, tier sets will change, but the general core rotation of Paladin doesn't, for the most part. And once you get that down, you get down keeping Shield of Righteous up, filling in with Blessed Hammer, constantly judging different targets and as much as possible, and then Avenger shielding, you're going to be laughing, you're going to be having a really good time. Obviously, I didn't have to bubble much in that key at all. On higher keys, I do definitely fill in bubble. On higher keys, I'm going to be getting absolutely slaughtered, so I'm going to have to exploit. And higher key, by higher keys, I mean like even just 14 and higher. Like as a paladin right now in the current season, the state of the season, like you're having to really exploit your full kit. And so I do weave in bubble as well a lot more. I probably hardly used it that key, but like in general, you're going to be wanting to use bubble because it does have a much shorter CD now. So it's 100% worth it. And it has an even shorter CD if you spec into Uther's Council as well, where some of your major like defensive CDs have a 15% reduction in cooldown, which is really nice. Holy Reprieve I love rocking because the forbearance duration is reduced. So if you do accidentally hit one of your defensives that activates forbearance, which reduces you from being able to use your other defensive CDs, then having this talent really helps mitigate that mistake. And just in general, it's just nicer. Especially if you're in a pack where you're having to like, you're having to chain your defensives to stay alive. So yeah, again, really nice. Again, even nice if you've had to use bot, let's say, to clear a bleed in a nasty pack, like Motherlode, for example. There's an elite right before this boss. Where is it? Before Azeroth, there's obviously a really nasty mini boss elite in the pack right before this boss, which puts a horrible bleed on you. But yeah, any horrible bleeds in dungeons, if you have like a macro that instantly activates it and then you press it again and it deactivates it, it's fantastic and it'll clear bleed, but it will instigate forbearance on you as a debuff, but which restricts you from using other forbearance related defensive CDs, such as like lay on hands. So yeah, it's really nice to have that. And to be honest, this ability here, Light's Revocation, in the past, like, you used to be able to not overlap Bubble either, because it would count like I don't know when, but you won't be able to cast Bubble either within forbearance. But this talent here allows you to cast Divine Shield whilst forbearance is active, which is absolutely huge as well. So it completely ignores it. So it just makes it is a massive quality of life improvement, and it makes it more fun to play, and you can use it a lot more often. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys, so far. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments section. I'll just end there because it's a lot of information. And yeah, let me know what you think. Make sure to like the video if you want to see more content like this. It is a way of giving feedback. Comment down below. Make sure to subscribe for future content. I do a variety of games, but I really enjoy World of Warcraft. It's my go-to, most favorite. It's my go-to kind of MMORPG right now. So yeah, thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.